Autobots, roll out!
Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Armada Leader Class Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. This is my original one that I bought when he first came out. Brand new, I bought this guy and I love him. Originally released in August of 2002, he was a leader class and retailed for approximately $40. He came with his truck and trailer, and he came with his little Minicon spark plug. Spark plug here. Now, the Armada figures all had these Minicon ports all over the place that the Minicons would latch onto, and they would unlock different features and actions or weapons throughout the figure. So we'll get into that as we get along into the figure. Here in truck mode, the truck itself is approximately 8 inches long and about 3 inches tall. The trailer is about 10 inches long, 4 inches tall. That gives us a total of about 14 inches long for the truck here. And yeah, we'll get Sparkplug out of the way here for a second and we'll take a look at the truck. This thing is beautiful. I absolutely love the look of this truck. He rolls really, really nicely. Now, Armada kind of got away from the realistic vehicle look, and they went more into, they were kind of aiming for a quote. I remember reading this in a magazine back when the cartoon was first coming out. They were going for a made-up military vehicle look, is what they described it as. So these would be like vehicles. They were coming up with vehicles that you could maybe see in the military, you know. So he looks like a very beefed up truck. The trailer has tracks on it instead of wheels, which I love because this is very Star Convoy, and you guys know how much I love my Star Convoy. So, but then again, you know, with the colors, he's got all the hints from the G1. All those hints are there. You've got the red cab with the blue highlights in the back. You've got your gray trailer with the blue stripe and the Autobot symbol on the back. I just love the design of this truck. So going all the way around, he's kind of big, so he's going to be hard to see sometimes. We'll unpeg the trailer here so you can see the back of the trailer there. And just kind of go all the way around on the trailer. And then taking a look at the truck itself. Here he is. Just to look at the truck right there. So, yeah, I just really, really love the look of this truck. We'll get this pegged in here because there's one more thing that we can do. Before we do that, we'll take one quick look at Sparkplug. Sparkplug was kind of like a Lamborghini-esque little sports car. And, of course, he takes his name from G1, the Spike's father, Sparkplug. And he's got his Minicon symbol at the top there. And there you go. It's just a little sports car, which is actually really cool and works really well with the city bots also. So we'll just set him off to the side. Now, Optimus here, there's a couple other figures that would work with Optimus. So what you could do here, we're probably going to have to move our camera off to the end of the table. And you can see I've got some other figures staged over here. So if you look in the bottom of the trailer here, there's another peg port at the back of the trailer here. So if you got Armada Overload, which is this guy right here, Overload was kind of like a headmaster / target master. He was a pretty cool figure because this guy right here, this whole vehicle portion here transforms into the robot, and then this guy down here transforms into the head for Overload. But then there's another function that this guy does. He transforms into a weapons pack for Super Optimus Prime, and then this guy down here transforms into a gun for Super Optimus. And then the rest of the time, like he's about to do right now, you can actually pull down this this little link down here. He can actually plug into Optimus, so you can take this guy off, and then he'll actually plug into the back of Optimus, and now you can transform him into a small robot as well. So this guy's kind of like a quadruple changer, if you will, because he's the carrier for this. He's a headmaster, he's a target master, and he's a Minicon. This guy is awesome. He's a great, great figure to have. But so now you've got Optimus here, and he's turning into a super convoy. And you've got the Optimus pulling his trailer, and then he's also pulling this big carrier in the back. And this is also articulated, so you can turn that as well. And then if you've got Jetfire, you can get Jetfire. And what Overload here is, he's a carrier for Jetfire in his shuttle mode. So now you've got yourself a super convoy here of Optimus Prime, Overload, and Jetfire. And I just think that is so cool. That's one of my favorite figures right there. I just love the absolute massive size of this thing right here. All combined right here in, I'm going to call this Super Convoy. You're looking at a convoy that's 23 inches long and about 7 inches tall. This thing is massive. I absolutely love this. Taking a look at transformation, we'll look at Optimus by himself first, so we'll go ahead and set the trailer off to the side and concentrate on just the truck. Transformation for this guy is relatively simple. We're going to start right here at the front and pull the grill down, and then this guy's just going to rotate all the way around to the bottom, and it's on a double hinge, so you're just going to click everything into place, and you're going to see that the head's down there, right down there. It's going to reveal the head. Right here you can see there's what looks like some fists. It's because there are fists. Those are the fists for the super robot. You can just fold those up and those are going to be the legs. Go ahead and grab the legs down here. You can extend these guys all the way and separate them. So that's going to form the legs. Right here the smokestacks. These are going to be the fists. Actually we need to move our camera up because we're getting tall. We're going to get very tall. This is a very nice sized figure. So right here where the smokestacks are at, these guys are actually the fists. So these guys are pegged into the side of the truck right there. So you can go ahead and separate those, bring these guys down into the, just rotate them all the way to the front. Take the whole front of the truck right here. This guy's going to split. And these guys are going to come down to the side. This guy is very reminiscent, if you're familiar with, if you remember the G2 Laser Convoy, Laser Optimus Prime. This guy is very heavily based on that figure, and it's very similar to him. And at this point, you can go ahead and just take these parts of the fist and slide them up, and they can be a little stiff sometimes. So, and especially now because we're in front of the camera, they want to be super stiff. What's going on here? There we go. Wow, those were super stiff for some reason. I think it might be because I display this guy in super mode. Because I have the smaller one that I reviewed previously, I keep him in this mode. So, maybe that might be why they got a little stiff. So, anyway, there he is. There is Armada Optimus Prime in his regular robot mode. And this is the mode that you normally saw him in the show right here before he combined with the trailer or with Jetfire. Here in robot mode, Optimus is approximately 7 inches tall, and I love the look of this robot. I really, even though he does this Optimus kind of took a step away from your typical Optimus in that he didn't have the window chests that Optimus typically has. There's something about the look of this Optimus that I just really eat up. I just really love the look of this Optimus. As far as articulation goes, he's got a swivel on the head so he can look side to side. And I don't know if you want to call this articulation or if you want to call this a feature. I'm going to let him call it articulation. I'm going to get in close here to the head. And there is a little button right here at the top of the head. If you push down on that, the mouth plate moves. I love that. So the mouth plate is articulated. So when Optimus talks, his mouth plate moves. That's just prime. I love that. Okay, so let's back him up a little bit and get it back into focus. So the shoulders rotate all the way around. You've got you saw the rotation at the elbow right there. Nothing at the fist, sadly. These early 2000 figures are somewhat blocky. So you've got a universal joint right there at the hip, so you can go forward and backwards. And you have a rotation, but that doesn't really work in this mode. That's really more for the super mode. So not much. You have a little bit of in and out, but that is really hindered by the skirts right here. You could, now these guys split, for the super mode, it splits. So you could split it up if you want to, but that's going to kind of break up the look of the robot. He's really meant to stay pegged in this mode. The knees have a full 90 at the knee, and you've also got a rotation at the knee. And you've got a backwards tilt at the foot right there because of the transformation again. So I was going to say something and I felt like I was getting sidetracked, so I kind of stopped myself there. But I'll go ahead and address it now. Yeah, this guy is okay articulated. There is a better articulated version of this figure. It's smaller. It's the deluxe version that I reviewed previously. Let me reach back here on the shelf. This guy right here is pretty much the same figure, just a much more articulated version of this guy right here. Obviously, he's smaller. He's a deluxe sized. But, yeah, where this guy might seem like he's not quite so articulated, this guy's a lot better articulated than this guy is. But, again, with this guy, not so big, and you can't do the super mode with him or any of the combinations or anything like that. So, two very different figures. I like having them both. Now, as far as weapons go, there's a couple of things you can do with him. You've got the smokestacks, if you notice, they're clear plastic. They're not silver. So one thing you can do with the smokestacks is you can actually pull them out. Come on, Prime. Stop drinking. So you can pull those smokestacks out. And then these guys actually do have a peg and a port right there. So you can peg these guys together. And these guys form a gun right there. So you can hold this gun. And there you go. So now he's got a hand cannon right there. And then he also comes packed with this this rifle that's a little somewhat G1-ish, if you want to call it that, that you can store in the trailer. And you can give him this rifle as well. So he's got two options for weapons right there. So there it is. There's Optimus in robot mode. I love this robot mode. I really do. I prefer to just keep the smokestacks on his arms and just give him the one rifle. So we'll do that real quick. So he really didn't do the whole smokestack thing on the show. These always just stayed on his arms, and then he just used the regular rifle. This is supposed to be his super mode rifle, but he just used this rifle. He never really used these never, I don't believe, if I remember correctly, the smokestacks never turned into a gun. I mean, he might have shot them from his arms, kind of like a gauntlet shooter kind of thing. Maybe, I don't even think I remember him ever doing that, but I'm pretty sure they never came off and combined to turn into a gun. So, anyway, so there he is. In robot mode. I love him. Love this robot mode. So, getting into the trailer. So, we're back in the vehicle mode because I want to show you the trailer all the way from the beginning. So, of course, the trailer is going to turn into a base mode. But the cool thing about what the Armada Optimus Prime did is that it had a completely automated, motorized trailer. So, the trailer, what it does is that when you transform Optimus Prime into his robot mode, he sends a signal to the trailer, and the trailer will automatically transform into the base mode all by itself. It's so cool. So in order to do that, there is an on-off switch at the bottom of the trailer right here. So that guy is already turned on. So we're going to take Optimus off the trailer right here. And the only thing we have to do to prepare this is we've got these flaps right here on the sides of or the tops rather of the trailer. So we're going to go ahead and put these guys up because these guys are going to lend support to these panels right here. And then we just want to make sure that the sides are typically everything about this the sides of the trailer, everything is pegged in typically for trailer mode, and it pegs in rather securely. So you just want to make sure that nothing is pegged in so that it doesn't grab on and it doesn't grind any of your teeth in while it's transforming. So hopefully right here we've got it in a good place where we'll be able to catch all the transformation while it's happening. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Optimus right here. I'm going to start transforming him. There is a sensor right here inside this window. So as I start to transform Prime, he's going to send that signal off. And at some point right here in the next, right about now, he's going to send that signal to the trailer and watch this trailer transform. So he transforms into this base mode. It didn't quite come down all the way. That should come all the way down there. And he says, power up and check out this base mode. This thing is massive. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can do with this base. Right here is the storage for his weapon, as you saw earlier, for the robot mode. And you can mount this guy anywhere. He's got a couple of pegs here, so you can mount this here. And there's a couple of spots down here where you can mount it. There's also a swivel, so you can actually extend that guy out and mount it anywhere you want. For the time being, I'm going to set it off to the side just so I can go around showing you all the different features, because it's so big that it's just difficult to get everything in the shot. So there's a couple of containers on the sides right here, so you can open these guys up, for example. And there's some room in here for some of the mini-cons, for example. So you can open these guys up, and you can store some mini-cons right in there. Also, There's some of the action features for the minicons. For example, there's a little minicon port right here. So if you plug your minicon to this port, you get a little gun that pops up right there. You've got another minicon port right here. So if you plug your minicon port to this guy and push him forward, let's try that on camera. So there's a minicon port right in here. So if you plug in your minicon right into that port and push him forward, you get some shooting sounds, and then there's some lights right there. Over here on this side, there's a little map, like a world map that you can pop open, and minicons can stand here and kind of look at the map right there. Up here at the top, you've got a little radar dish, and then there's a little button. If you push on this button, you've got a little cannon that pops up, so you can shoot this guy, and he's kind of spring loaded, but you can kind of aim him around, and it's like a little cannon, multi-barrel, three triple cannon right there that you can shoot around. There's another container over on this side. You can pop this guy open, and this guy's cool. I really enjoy this side of the container. So you can pop that guy open. We'll grab Sparkplug one more time, and we'll bring him in here. And then there's a little slider, so you can actually slide him out, and then just shoot your little minicons right out of this part of the container. So you can, there you go. And then there's, what else we got? We got some more. So there's a lot to do on this base mode. So you've got another cannon right here. You've got two cannons. This one is molded in. This one doesn't really do anything. But this guy over here does actually pop up. You've got some handles that can pop open. And this guy can spin around. And you can actually man this cannon, spin it around all over the place, and you can actually shoot that missile. So, yeah, there you go. Also, this cannon over here, you can actually rotate it as well. So, lots to do with this base right here. And then you can take your Sparkplug, and we'll go ahead and do him now. We'll do the transformation for Sparkplug. This guy is pretty cool. Basically, this guy is just going to explode. I've never seen a transformation quite like Sparkplug's. Let's take the whole top part of the car here. You're just going to kind of split them in half. The two front halves of the car here, these are going to fold over. These are going to be the feet. Take these sides of the car here. These are going to come out to the sides. And then right here you can see where this piece of the hood was at. That's going to be the head. But you're going to fold it all the way over to where you see that opening down there. So fold them all the way in like that. And then fold that roof down. And that's going to create, the roof is going to create the chest with the head right above there. Rotate these guys down. These are going to be the fists. And there's Sparkplug in robot mode. Never quite seen a transformation like that one. And I think I split him in half when I did that just now. There's a little peg down there. There's a little peg and a port that he can actually plug into to secure him in place. There he goes. I got him right that time. And there's Sparkplug in robot mode. I've never quite seen a transformation like this, guys. He is pretty cool. So now that you've got him in robot mode, you can actually put him just about anywhere on this base and just kind of have him manning cannons and manning this cannon down here. You can have him down here looking at this map or what have you. So, yeah, lots of cool play features. Let's see, we'll go ahead and turn this guy around. And just for the sake of it, we'll just put this cannon here as well. So then we can have just lots of cannons shooting from up here. So there you go. There is the trailer base mode for Optimus, and from here we're going to go ahead and move straight into the super mode. So to get ready for the super mode, we're going to go ahead and put everything back away the way it was. You can leave the cannon, you can leave it mounted up here the way it was stored. Typically on the show they showed it like that, but I'm going to leave it off since we're going to be giving them to Optimus anyway. And we'll set him aside and pop this guy down. Now, to get ready for the super mode, the only thing you have to do is, make sure everything is closed and everything is pretty much the way it was when you first transform them into the base mode. And then you're going to want to take these flaps down here, and you're going to want to take these and flap them right back up again. Before we go into the super mode, there's a couple things I forgot to mention about Optimus. There's just so much to cover with this figure that it's so easy to forget things, but I would be remiss if I don't mention two things in particular. One is the head sculpt. I did show it off a little bit when I showed off the mouth plate moving feature, but I just really like that head sculpt, and I just kind of wanted to show that off again because I'm a fan. I think that is a great head sculpt on this figure. I think it's a great head sculpt. That, and then also the fact that on his chest, I would really be remiss if I didn't show this off, is the fact that his chest does open up to show off a matrix of leadership. Now, it's molded in, you can't remove it, and you can't do anything with it, but it's in there. And this is something that was never shown in the show. So the fact that they put that in there, that was for the fans. So I really love the fact that they did that. So, to get him ready for his super mode, I've gone ahead and taken off the smokestacks, combined them and turned them into a weapon and just set them aside. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of start getting him back into his truck mode. So just slide the fists back in, just kind of get them up here and out of the way, push his shoulders back up into his truck mode, and take his whole grill and pop it back up here again. It's almost like you're taking him halfway back to truck mode. Take his arms and bring him back, bring him all the way down as far as they'll go. And then take his feet, go ahead and fold these up, and these are going to pull. These are going to reveal those fists that we saw earlier. Now we're going to take the this part of the truck right here. We're going to split these up. We're going to bring them down and rotate them. And then we're going to bring these down, rotate those, and these are going to create the arms. And we're going to leave it right there because the head is going to actually be revealed when we combine this guy with the rest of the trailer. So let's go back to the trailer to see how that's going to transform. So we're back at the trailer. If you remember, we had the trailer back to the original configuration, exactly the way it was when it originally transformed from trailer to base. So we closed up, we made sure all of our ports are closed up. We made sure that all of our cannons and guns and everything is stowed away. I went ahead and took the cannon out just to be sure. And then these support flaps that were pointed down, I went ahead and pointed these guys back up again. So what happens now is that when you're transforming Optimus from his robot mode into his torso mode for the super robot mode, at one point in the transformation, when you pull the shoulders apart, this happens. So now we've got this, the trailer that was the base has now transformed itself into the legs for the super mode. So at this point, really, it's ready to go. All we have to do is there's a couple of pegs right here that are going to peg into these ports on the sides of the legs. We just kind of have to peg those in right there. And then up here where we had the map of the world earlier, just go ahead and pull that guy up right there. And we are ready to combine our Optimus from super mode torso with our bottom half of the robot here. Let's try and get the whole thing in shot. Okay, so now we're going to combine this guy. And real quick before we do, when I turn him into torso mode, the only thing I didn't do is I had the arms pointed down like that, and I forgot to turn him up like that. So I figured I went ahead and tell you that now before everybody goes down in the comment section and loses their mind on me. So if you remember, I told you to leave the head down. That's because on the show, he didn't actually have the head pop up until he physically combined with the trailer. And the toy actually does that. I love that. It's so, so cool. So what we're going to do here is, you see on the top of the leg portion here, you've got these two pegs right here. These guys are going to peg into what would be the headlights of the truck. So just make sure this mat part's out of the way here. Line everything up. And it's kind of hard to do from behind the camera. And when you push down on him, the head's going to pop up, he's going to make some sounds, and then you're just going to pull out on the ears. And there is Armada, Optimus Prime, in his combined super mode. Check this guy out. He is massive, and he looks awesome. Here in super mode, Optimus is about 12 inches tall. Now, as far as articulation goes, he's got a little bit of up and down on the head because it's a spring-loaded mechanism right there, but not real up and down. You know, he does have a swivel so he can go side to side. The shoulders can go in and out a little, or up and down a little bit because of the transformation. You do have some forward and backwards. Not a whole lot of forward, just kind of backwards. Unfortunately, it's got to stop there, and he's got sound. He's going to be making sounds all over the place. You do have some in and out, and you have some. You have a bend at the elbow, and you've also got some rotation, and that's going to be about it. He is a relatively well-known brick. because of the nature of the transformation, the way he combines with the trailer, with everything being automated and motorized, there's no articulation for the bottom half. And, it's just, there's no waist articulation, and obviously the legs don't move. They're just static because it's just a bunch of panels clipped together from the motorized function there. But just kind of taking a look around. Not horribly back cable-y. These two platforms that kind of rest around, against his back, this is actually accurate. In the cartoon, he did have these. They were a little closer to his back, but they were there. And his legs were kind of big in the show, so those are actually kind of accurate. He didn't have this thing sitting back here, though. So that's kind of the only kibble, I guess I would call that. So, but just going all the way around. And as I'm doing this, because I'm so far away from him, I'm going to be unpegging him a lot. But there you go. He's really awesome. And this is how I display this guy on my shelf, because I just think he looks so, so cool. As far as gimmicks go, I like to put Sparkplug. I forgot his name for a second. I like to put Sparkplug up here on his shoulder and just kind of have him rest there. He does have some light up features. Right here on this on his shoulder, you're going to see this little button right here. So what this does is you can give him his rifle that he had earlier, his robot rifle. Now this is meant to be his super mode rifle, and this guy does have the light piping that goes through him. So you notice that his the handle is clear, and if you look inside the fist right in there, when I push on that button, you do have a light, an LED lights up in there. So when you put the light or the rifle in his fist and you press that button, the inside of the rifle does light up, and I don't know that it's going to show off terribly well because of all the lighting that I have in here. But there you go. You can see that it does light up some. And can we see it from the front? Yeah, so there you go. It actually does a pretty good job of lighting up and showing through. So you can do that with this rifle. And you can also do that with the smokestacks that combine together from earlier to form a gun. So you can do that with these guys as well, as you can see. So I don't think this one kind of lights up in the back more. This one doesn't actually light up the barrel as much as the cannon did. I think the cannon does a better job if you're pointing this guy straight forward. I think this guy actually does a better job of looking like it's actually firing at you. So there you go. There is the firing or the light up gimmick for Optimus. So yeah, let's see. There's one more thing I want to show you guys, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it all in the camera, but we are going to give it a try. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave Optimus in his torso mode, but we are going to separate him. Let's see. Is there anything that I missed? Any lights or sound feature that I missed? You notice that he was doing that sound, and oh, he does have a button right here. You can push on this button, and he does a firing sound. That's about it. Now, there's no real light up to talk about when you push on that button. There's a LED from the base that lights up and it blinks when he does that, but it doesn't light up anything in his arms and weapons or anything like that. So that's really more of a sound feature than anything else. And then when you push down on him, he does that walking sound that he was doing earlier. So we'll go ahead and get the legs moved aside. And like I said, we'll have Optimus just kind of sit aside here in his torso mode. And I'm going to bring in Jetfire, who also transforms into a leg mode of his own. So this is Jetfire. I'm not going to go into his robot mode or anything like that. This video is long enough as is. So here is Armada Jetfire in his leg mode. And as you can see, he's got the same two style pegs that the legs did, the trailer did in his leg mode. So they're going to be about the same height right here. So we'll go ahead and get Jetfire out here. And we're going to connect Optimus pretty much the same way that he connected with his trailer right there. And then one more thing, Jetfire came with, he came with this shield piece right here. This is kind of like a landing gear piece for Jetfire. And of course, because I'm on camera, I'm going to knock that part out. Okay, so anyway, he comes with this part. This part clips to the bottom of the shuttle, and it turns into landing gear for him. So what you do is you spin this part around, and then this is going to actually clip into the front here and become a shield for Optimus. And then overload, and I know I know I don't have the whole thing in shot here, and that's kind of on purpose because I need to be close to him for what I'm going to do next. And then once I'm done with what I'm doing here, I'll back him up and get the rest of the thing on camera here. Overload also transforms into this gun emplacement, and this gigantic thing is going to slide right over. It's got these pieces here, and you know what? I'm probably not going to be able to get this thing on camera. So you've got these pieces here, and these are going to slide down this back part of the robot here. And I'm just going to do my best to get this done here, and then just back them away from the camera so that you can see what it looks like. And I typically just knock off the shield anyway, so it's just as well. Alright, so that's going to slide right over that piece there. That clips in. Get this shield clipped back into place again. And then we'll get them all backed up, and hopefully we can get Optimus completely in his shot there. And there is Optimus combined with Overload and Jetfire. Check this guy out. This guy is massive. He couldn't get any bigger if he wanted to. Here in combined mode with Jetfire and Overload, Optimus is just over 15 inches tall. He is huge. He retains all the same articulation that he did in Super Mode as far as the upper torso goes. He does gain some more articulation with Jetfire because he's got leg articulation now. He does have some in and out. He's got some rotation right here at the knees. That's about it. I mean, I wouldn't, because he's so top heavy, I probably wouldn't give him any more. Try to pose him any more than that. But the whole deal was that in this mode, this actually gave him a flight mode. So combined with Jetfire here, he could actually fly, which I think was pretty cool. So, yeah, this video's gone on long enough. And if I have forgotten anything, it's certainly not by design. There's just so much. I've been wanting to do this figure for quite a while. There's just so much to do with this figure. I've been afraid that the video was going to be too terribly long, and I've been just really racking my brain trying to figure out how to do it. So I hope I got everything I could get in there. And I hope that it's been an enjoyable video for you. So I think that is going to do it for Transformers Armada Leader Class Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see. And I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.